Well, as even though I'm not physically there, I am certainly electronically there. But so all you people that have come to the Shark Conference, I welcome you with all my heart and mind and like. And remember one thing: sharks are not a mined out field when it comes to their study. In fact, the more we find out, the more we realize how much we don't know. And in terms of diversity, in terms of their behavior, in terms of many other things. Well, the country Italy means something to me because I'm partially Italian. Eugenie Clark, in a 2011 edition of her book *Lady and the Sharks*, wrote something on the copy she gave me while I was in Stockholm, and that is this: to Leonard, the greatest shark expert on the planet. I'm not so sure I can live up to that, but I'll try sometimes. I think the first paper I ever wrote was something back in 1967, I believe, on tooth pattern reversal in sharks. In other words, uh, sharks have a certain pattern of their teeth, and all of a sudden it reverses itself. And I discovered that and it hadn't been really discovered before. And from that, I went on to just about anything that interested me. I've published quite a few things. I'm not so sure how many exact number of papers, but it's upward of 1,000. I've worked on all groups of sharks, and I've worked on them globally. So I've had an effect on their systematics or taxonomy and general biology worldwide. One of the things that was a particularly good paper is that one time I met a Hawaiian friend who's also a shark researcher, Leighton Taylor, and he showed me some material from a giant new species of shark that had been collected off of the Hawaiian Islands, that is the megamalt shark. And so from that, essentially, I wound up describing the thing, and Leighton and another friend, Paul Strusaker, added bits and pieces to it, but essentially it was my job. What I'm busy working on now is a grand classification of the shark-like fishes. I've come to a plan that apparently they represent two major groups: the chimeras and the placoderms, and the acanthodians or spiny sharks, and the sharks proper. And I need a bit of work to do that, but it's a little bit different from what people have done before. My involvement with the Jaws movie was serving as their chief scientific collaborator. Well, about Jaws, it had a dual function. For one thing, it tended to mean that people had a tendency to kill more sharks, but then again, what it had a tendency to mean is that people got more interested in sharks and got more conservation oriented to sharks. On the importance of shark research to communication is that it's vital. That it's it paraphrases what Albert Einstein said one time about research. If you confine research to the purview of researchers, it doesn't get out to the rest of the world, which is unfortunate. It should get out to the rest of the world. Well, I think there's a problem of the opinion that people have with sharks. Uh, Besides, they do it from the standpoint of not really knowing what sharks are. There are a lot of different species of them, and the average size is about that long, and which can't be particularly harmful to anybody. And even with the ones that are big enough to bite you, they are for the most part they don't do that at all. In fact, if they did do that, I wouldn't be here. My advice to would-be shark researchers is to do it, and because sooner or later your opinions will become unique. Your opinions will become something that is adding new knowledge to our field. Well, what advice I would give to other scientists is that the game isn't over, not by a long shot, and there's a lot more to learn out there. If you're studying sharks, keep studying sharks. If you're not studying sharks, you probably should be studying sharks. I wish for all of you delegates to the meeting all the success in the world in your studies, past, present, and future.